to another episode of Fiction Fellowship. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to do another author spotlight, and this time we're going to talk about Pam Jenoff. She is my all-time favorite historical fiction author. She writes a lot of World War II books, and I love the World War II era. I love the history of everything and learning all these kind of things that I've never known about it. And she has written quite a few books. She just came out with a book this past year, and I read that one. It is awesome. All of her books are just amazing. They are so well written. They're like so memorable and so full of emotion. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always in that era, like in that period of time when I'm reading her books. So she actually worked in Poland, and that's where she developed her expertise in Polish-Jewish relations and the Holocaust. So she knows a lot about that period of time, and a lot of the details and everything that went on during there. And a lot of times her books are based off of actual stories that really happened. Some of them are based on people that actually went through these things, or it's kind of loosely based off of actual true events, which I find really fascinating. And I just love the way she writes books. They're really well told. They're beautifully written, very memorable, engaging, authentic, just so emotional. And a lot of books I've teared up on because they're just heartbreaking to know that some of the things that, you know, the Jewish people had to go through during the Holocaust, and not just Jewish people, but a lot of people, a lot of different ones. And so it talks about like different places. Some of them are in Poland, some of them are in other countries. So it's just, her books are just amazing. And there's other historical fiction authors that I also love, but Pam is my favorite. Whenever I see one of her books come out, I am on it. Gotta read it because I know I'm just gonna love it. So all of her books, I feel, go into like really vivid detail and descriptions and everything, and that's how I always feel like I'm actually right there in the scene, you know, feeling the emotions that these people are feeling the heartbreak, feeling sometimes happiness, most of the time not, but like there's always just these moments where you're like, oh my gosh, these people went through so much, and I just can't believe this actually happened to people. But you have got to check out at least one of her books. So the first book that I read of hers was Codename Sapphire, and that one is her second to newest book. That one I believe came out last year or the year before. But that one, there is The Last Twilight in Paris, The Woman with the Blue Star, The Lost Girls of Paris, The Orphan's Tale, and there's a few other ones that I've read. I can't remember what the names of those are, but all of those books that I just mentioned, amazing. You have got to read them. Now, at first when I started reading, I did not think that I would like historical fiction. I did Christian fiction, mystery, thriller, true crime, you know, those kind of books. And people were like, you gotta read some historical fiction, they're so good. And I thought, it didn't really sound very good. It sounds kind of boring to me. But the first book I read, it was the Tattooist of Auschwitz. That was the first historical fiction book that I read, and it was at the library that I worked at. And I thought, I'm just gonna give this a try because it was so popular at the time, and I thought, I'm gonna read it. I read it and I was hooked. I was like, okay, if there's a lot of historical fiction books that are so good just like this, I gotta read more. And so I started reading more historical fiction, not just World War II, but other time periods too. World War One, the Vietnam War, you know, different periods of time. And I was hooked. I was like, this is so good. This is not boring at all. It is very exciting. And I learned so much stuff that I had never learned before. And so now I'm hooked. It's one of my favorite genres. I love it. And so if you never read any historical fiction and you're kind of hesitant, like, I don't know if that's really my thing, pick up one of her books. And if you don't like it, just find another author of historical fiction, because there's so many. But if you read one of her books, I think you're going to be hooked. So that is my author spotlight for today. And I think the next couple books I'm going to be reading are thrillers. I wanted to do the spotlight just because I have had so many great Pam Jenoff books and I wanted to talk about them. But next time we're going to do thrillers. So let me know what you're reading. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.